What's up, everybody? I just watched Baaghi, the first one. Um, what to think of this thing? Let me kind of give you an overview if you haven't seen it. We have the story of this kid, this young man who rebels against everything, and it sounds like that he is sent to his dad sends him um, to a friend who is like a master sensei in some kind of Indian martial arts. And the kid, and it's Ronnie is the kid's name, is he is a he's a pretty good street fighter. He knows kung fu. He has practiced Shaolin kung fu, and Ronnie is played by Tiger Shroff. And he kind of comes. He's got some skill, but he's very undisciplined. And this sensei, who's a friend of the family, puts him very much into what the first thing that came to mind was Karate Kid. You're going to do these chores, and even though you don't like these chores, you're going to do them. And being a rebel, being young, he can't see the purpose in these chores. So he's doing the chores, and he's growing more and more upset, discontent. Why can he not train? He's got skills. If you could only see my genius, if you could only see my ability, you would see I'm awesome. And the sensei's son is the world champion of whatever they're doing. It looked like Taekwondo, even though it's an Indian martial arts. What they were doing to me looked like Taekwondo, and we'll get into that in a moment. And so he's living at this monastery, and he has this little boy that he takes care of. And the little boy, dude, steals the scenes. You put that little boy in there, whatever scene that little boy was in, he just stole it from everybody. You put a gun to Tiger's ribs and said, "Give me the scene. This is my scene. I'm taking over." That little boy, dude, when he's crying, no. And just like, oh, the little kid was awesome. Let's see where that kid is 15 years from now when he's rocking Bollywood, right? And everybody's like, whoa, this guy's awesome. So Tiger is, he's gone out. Oh, and he meets the girl. And the girl, let me look at the notes who the girl was. I didn't recognize her, but she was a good character. She was, Sia, and she is a Kapoor, and she wants to be an actress. And so they their lives keep touching. They kind of keep, running into each other, and they like each other. And her dad wants to be a filmmaker, and he knows that this dojo son also likes her. So we have this love interest. So we have Tiger, who's kind of maybe a different cast, maybe a blue collar dude. He's a rebel. He is, he's in this dojo to learn respect. To the letter that the dad sent to this sensei was, make him a man. This kid is I can't control him anymore. Make him a man. And this sensei's son, who is entitled, spoiled, the dad doesn't realize it to what degree, also likes this woman. But the son is also a criminal. He's a gunda, right? He is a mobster, and dad doesn't know it. And they both like this girl, but they don't really realize the other one is pursuing this. And the gunda goes to her dad and says, "Listen, I know you want to make films in Hyderabad. I'll give you, here's some money for your film. I want to marry your daughter. Can we get an arranged marriage?" And he agrees to it. And she doesn't really know about it, or is she down with it, right? When she does find out about it, she wants to be with Tiger. And the dad, who is a real douchebag, fakes an injury and says Tiger gave it to her, and does all this stuff. Just causes all kinds of problems. I won't give you every specific because I don't want to ruin it in case you haven't seen it. And so we have this whole thing kind of, Tiger's life is personally going to crap. He's upset he's not being used at the dojo. The woman he loves is not, he thinks she's not interested because the dad's doing some stuff. And he comes in drunk one night, and the sensei's waiting for him. And the sensei does a couple kung fu things, makes him throw up. He's sober, and and they start arguing, and he tells him, "You haven't trained me anything." So he starts attacking him, and it very much was Karate Kid, where he was now wax on, wax off, and you see Tiger doing this. The girl doesn't want to marry the guy. She's kidnapped by her husband, a.k.a. crime boss, that arranged the marriage, and now they're asking Tiger to go get her. And so there are confrontations after confrontations. The dad finds out his son is a douchebag, and he's willing to kill Tiger to keep him away. And the dad is like, "I will not let this happen. That you're wrong, you're evil." And the son poisons him. And there's a great scene of the poisoning that was like, whoa, that's really good. Now, the guy who played his dad, I thought was phenomenal. And he looked familiar, but I can't place him. Oh, man, who was he? But he played a really great, a great character of the sensei, who was supposed to be 68, but I doubt he was that old. But great character. And Tiger has now become the favorite disciple of the sensei. And he now has to go, ultimately, chase after the son who is the murderer, steals the woman, right? So you have this very much this web that has been made of the bad real son and the good kind of adopted sons. It's a tale of two sons. So that is thing. Now, his lair is in Thailand. Is it Thailand, Bangkok, I think? Which is directly across from Vizag. You just go across the Bengal Bay and you're there, yo. And it turns into Game of Death. So he's in a big high-rise, and Game of Death is a Bruce Lee film where each level there's a boss, and you kind of got to fight your way, going all the way up till you get to the master, right? You get to the master. And so we see the showdown. We see all this stuff. We see all the fighting. This movie, so that's kind of an overview. So this movie was up and down for me, up and down. There are times I was like, I'm going to turn this thing off. It's terrible. And then there are times like, whoa, let me watch that. Let me watch that. That was pretty good. That was very, very good. Couple things I didn't like. I did not like auto-tuning every time they sang. That annoyed the crap out of me. I didn't like that. I didn't like how everything was a Taekwondo spinning kick, which is just ridiculous, right? I remember being in the dojo, and Sensei wanted me to fight a new student, and he was a black belt in Taekwondo. And he said, he's a black belt in Taekwondo. You are not, Jeremy. I want you to fight him because you fight Shotokan, and I want to make an illustration about how a lower belt can beat a higher belt with the principles of Shotokan. And just remember, it's Taekwondo. And what he was telling me is, wait for the spinning back kick, because that's going to take forever and a day to pull off and move in. And that's what I did. Defend. Oh, here comes a spinning, beautiful back kick. Oh, you're in midair with your back turned to me. Pow. So that kind of, I was just like, Now, they did a very good, I think, raid kind of homage, fighting through the hallways. Some of the fight scenes were really good. When he finally decided he was going to fight and knock all the fools out, it was incredible. It was incredible. Some of the fight scenes were great. I thought the girl's performance, Kapoor, was good. I liked how when it would rain, it was kind of their thing. It was God talking to them, or whoever was talking to them, Mother Nature. I don't know who they're talking to, but they used it as a thing to know. And there's a great scene where they think Tiger's dead, and they got her back in the lair up in the penthouse, and he's telling like, nobody's coming for you. You just need to get over this. I don't want to force myself on you, but we're married. I made the arrangements, so, you decide how you want this to go down. And it starts to rain, and she sees the rain, and she looks at him and says, he's coming for me. And he's like, what? No, nobody's coming for you. Oh, crap. The alarm was just sound. He's in the building, dude. He's in the building. And he's so much better in the fight scenes where it's like, some of the fight scenes, it's like, how can you be this great student and then 4 Goondas are beating the crap out of you? And then all of a sudden you can beat the whole... It's like, I didn't understand that. I couldn't follow the logic of it. Now, I thought maybe when he was going to rescue her that it was going to turn into The Crow or something, that he was dead, rose from the dead, and he was now going to have these kind of supernatural powers, but that wasn't the case. We find out why he wasn't really dead, which was a really good point in the film. Reminded me of Gymnica. It reminded me to my American friends. There was some Karate Kid. They took a little Karate Kid, they mixed it with a little Bruce Lee Game of Death. They took a lot of Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of stuff, and then mixed it with Gymnica. That's what it reminded me. And it's not a movie that you're going to say, I got to relook at my life and how I'm living it. It was entertaining. It would be a good movie to go out with the fellas and get some pops, and you watch this thing, and then maybe you go out and you get rowdy for the night and have a good time. So it was that kind of movie. Now, I'd be curious to see the second one because it looks a little more serious in tone. But I enjoyed the film. I wouldn't own it on DVD, but I enjoyed the film. It was entertaining. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love.